A man takes a coconut made in China and smashes it against the wall. He threw it once, twice, and then he hit it with a stone. But the stone broke, but the coconut remained intact. But then the broken stone in his hand gave the man hope. With a few strokes, the sharp side of the stone easily cracked the coconut shell and the man raised his neck and drank it all. But the water of a coconut is not enough to satisfy a man who has not had a drop of water for 3 days. The man's name is Tom. He's an executive at a courier company, and he's also a workaholic who can't remember his girlfriend's birthday, even though he's got a lot of work to do to keep his deliveries on time. In order for the delivery to not be overdue, Tom decided to fly to the delivery. Unbeknownst to him, this decision has killed him for 4 years. On the plane, Tom had just entered the restroom when a loud noise made him lose his center of gravity. Before he knew it, he heard the pilot in the cockpit yelling about the crash. Tom grabbed a life raft and watched the plane crash into the ocean. When he woke up again, he was on an unfamiliar beach with no ships, no communications, just an endless coastline. Tom picked up all the couriers he saw along the way. That was his job. Tom used to think that time was more precious than gold, but now it's all he has left. After determining that the island was deserted, Tom wrote a distress signal on the beach, but the next day it was washed away by the sea. So he struggled to bring in wood and build a new one, praying that a passing ship or plane would find him. Soon night fell, but Tom slept uneasily, his hair standing on end at the strange noises coming from the woods behind him. Finally, at dawn, Tom cautiously went to check and realized that the sound was a coconut falling from a tree. By now his voice was smoking and he grabbed the coconut and smashed it against the wall. Once or twice, it was still intact. He also picked up a stone and smashed it, but the stone was broken. But then the broken stone in his hand gave Tom hope. After a lot of tinkering with the coconut successfully opened, Tom was able to drink this rare liquid. After regaining some strength, Tom intended to explore the island, but stepping on the underwater rocks is like stepping on razor blades. Within a few steps Tom's feet are already bloodied and bruised. He had no choice but to cut off his pants and tied them to his feet and stuffed them with leaves. Although they could not be called shoes, they could barely protect his feet. With shoes Tom climbed to the top of the highest mountain to look down. Unfortunately he did not find signs of human habitation. Just then Tom saw a man floating on the surface of the sea. He rushed over to him, but when he got closer he realized it was the pilot who had drowned. Tom was devastated, and if he hadn't been so lucky, he might have done the same. Tom dragged the pilot to shore, took off his shoes and compared them to his own, and took off the flashlight from his waist before burying him in a hole he had dug and thoughtfully erected a headstone. Tom stood in front of the headstone for a long time, as if he would never be alone. And so Tom began to live on the island, trying to catch fish during the day and looking at his girlfriend's picture at night. But after a few days of feeding on nothing but coconuts, Tom's stomach protested and he began to search for fresh water. Not only did he drink the dew from the leaves on the ground, but he also collected dew from all the plants. But Tom was still too hungry to sleep at night with only water to fill him up. He went out to the sea and saw a ship in the distance. Tom was overjoyed and shouted for help. But how could the ship hear him when it was so far away? So Tom picked up his boat and rowed towards the ship. But a huge wave came and knocked him and the boat overboard.